Welcome back to the Power Persona Leadership YouTube channel. This is the third video of the Interview Communication Masterclass. Now, in the last two videos, we've talked about what to say, we've talked about how to move. But in this final video, I want to talk about something that goes deeper than both. I want to talk about who you are in the room. Because here's what I've observed across hundreds of interviews, coaching sessions and hiring decisions. The candidates who get hired, not just shortlisted, but actually chosen, share a specific way of showing up that has nothing to do with their resume and everything to do with their mindset. And it can be learned. I'm going to show you exactly how. Stay until the end because the last thing I share is the one shift that makes every other skill we've discussed click into place. Now, coming to the interview mindset most people have, okay? Most candidates walk into an interview with what I call is the audition mindset. Now, in the audition mindset, you believe the interviewer holds all the power. You are performing, you are hoping, you are seeking approval. And that desperation, even when you hide it, seeps into your voice, your posture or your word choices. It makes you smaller. When you have the audition mindset, you over-explain because you are afraid of being misunderstood. You hedge your statements. I think, maybe, I guess. You apologize before making strong claims. You mirror whatever energy the interview gives you instead of bringing your own. And all of this communicates one thing. I need this more than you need me. This is never a position of strength. Now, coming to the conversation mindset, all right? The mindset shift I want you to make is this. Stop treating the interview as an audition and start treating it as a conversation between two professionals exploring a mutual fit. You are not auditioning, you are evaluating whether this role, this team, and this company deserves your skills. Now, this is not arrogance, that's accurate. You have value, you have built something, and you are deciding if this is the right place to bring it. When you internalize this, everything changes. Your voice carries more weight, you stop over-explaining, you ask better questions, you bring energy instead of absorbing theirs. This is what the top 5% of candidates do. Not because they're naturally confident, but because they've made a deliberate mindset shift before they walk through the door. Now, talking about words that shrink versus words that lead. Your mindset shows up directly in the words you choose. Let's look at the difference. Shrinking language would sound like, I think I'm pretty good at this. I guess my strength would be so and so. I'm not sure if this is the right answer, but I hope I can contribute. Now, leading language would sound like, my greatest contribution in this role would be, I've done this before and here's what I'd bring. Now, did you see the difference? The first is seeking permission. The second set is establishing presence. This doesn't mean being cocky or bulldozing the conversation. It means owning your experience, stating things with conviction, removing the hedges that make strong statements weak. Now, here's a practice. Take any answer you normally give in interviews and find every word like I think, maybe, I guess, or I hope, and remove it. See what remains. That version, which is clean, direct, unhedged, is the version that gets you hired. Now, coming to the highest level of communication skill in interviews is real-time emotional intelligence. This means reading the room and adjusting the conversation while it is happening. Here is what to look for. If the interviewer leans back and goes quiet, they may be waiting for you to go deeper. Then you can add more. If they're nodding rapidly, they got your point, wrap it up and don't repeat. If they look confused, they need you to simplify. So slow down, use an analogy. These micro signals are happening throughout every interview. Okay? Most candidates miss them because they're too focused on what they're about to say next. The best candidates are tuned into what's happening right now. So how do you develop this? By getting present. Before every answer, remind yourself, the person in front of me is the only thing that matters in the moment. Not my nervousness, not my next point, them. When you make the interviewer feel heard and responded to, you become memorable. And memorable gets you hired. Now, how to handle tough questions with grace? Every interview has at least one moment that could derail you. A question you weren't prepared for, or a silence that goes too long, or a follow-up that challenges your answer. What separates strong communicators in these moments is not that they have a perfect answer, it's how they hold the moment. If you don't know the answer, say, "That's a really interesting question, let me think about that for a moment." Then think, and out loud if needed. Show your reasoning process. This is often more impressive than a polished answer delivered instantly. If you are challenged on something that you said, don't crumble and immediately agree. What will that signal is that you don't actually believe what you said. Instead say, "I hear your point. What I meant was," and then continue. And you can either refine your answer and then give good evidence along with it. Respectful conviction is a leadership quality. If you get a question completely wrong, acknowledge it. "Actually, I think I answered slightly different question. Let me reframe." Then you can reframe. All right. Now coming to one mindset shift that changes everything. I promise you the one shift that makes everything click, here it is. Okay. Stop communicating to impress. Start communicating to connect. Every time you try to impress someone, your communication becomes about you. And people can feel that. It creates a subtle wall. They become evaluators rather than listeners. But every time you communicate to genuinely connect, you understand them, that shows that you're trying to understand them. Not your opportunity, you dissolve that wall. Ask yourself before every answer, how does this response serve the person I'm speaking to? How does it help them? That the problem is being solvable with your presence or not. Alright? And this is what gets you hired. Now coming to daily habits. Your daily practice from this video is this. Every morning for 5 minutes, write the answer to this question. What unique value am I bringing into this role today? Not what you're good at, not your resume summary. What specific value from your experience, your thinking, your personality do you bring that is genuinely hard to find? When you write this every day, you stop going into interviews looking for approval and you start going knowing your worth. That knowing changes everything about how you walk, how you talk, and how you respond. That's the full system. Now video 1 gave you the verbal framework. Video 2 gave you the non-verbal mastery. This video gave you the mindset that makes both of them work. If you watched all of 3, you are no longer the same candidate. Go record yourself, go to that interview and show them who you actually are. I am cheering for you. Now, if you are looking for one-on-one communication sessions, if you need help with preparing for interviews, or you think that you're lacking somewhere in your professional career in terms of communication skills or soft skills, you can connect with me for one-on-one sessions also. Check the link in the bio for more.